Dear children, welcome to the next module on Kingdom Animalia. In the last module, we learned about the two bases of classification, that is levels of organization and symmetry. In this module, we will be learning about the remaining bases of classification. So third basis of classification is the germinal layers. How many germ layers are there and what are germ layers? The layers which is present in the embryo from which all the body organs are formed are called as the germ layers. So germ layers are the layers in the embryo, and from these layers all the other body organs are formed. And how many germ layers determine whether the organism is diploblastic or triploblastic. Diplo, it refers to two. So if there are two germ layers, they are called as the ectoderm and endoderm. The ectoderm is the outer layer and the endoderm is the middle layer. So if there are only two germ layers, such animals are called as diploblastic animals. They are called as diploblastic animals. And in between these two layers, that is ectoderm and endoderm, an undifferentiated jelly-like layer is called as the mesoglia is present. This pinkish colored layer is called as the mesoglia, and it is not differentiated. So the two layers are ectoderm and endoderm, and in between an undifferentiated jelly-like layer is present, and that is called as the mesoglia, and such animals are called as diploblastic animals. So who are the diploblastic animals? All the animals which comes under the phylum Cnidaria and Ctenophora are diploblastic. Whereas if there are three germ layers in the embryo from which all the organs are developed, they are called as triploblastic animals. And what are the three germ layers? The outer ectoderm, the middle mesoderm, and the inner endoderm. And all the animals belonging to phylum Platyhelminthes to phylum Chordata are triploblastic. So based on the number of germ layers, there are two types of animals, diploblastic and triploblastic. Now the next basis of classification is coelom, or it is called as the body cavity. The coelom is the cavity which is lined by the mesoderm. We can see this is the coelom, and the coelom is lined by the middle layer called as the mesoderm. And it is seen, the coelom is seen between the body wall. This is the body wall and this is the gut wall. So in between the body wall and the gut wall, we can see the coelom, or it is called as a body cavity. And the coelom separates the muscles of gut and the body wall because it is seen between the body wall and the gut wall. And based on the nature of coelom, the animals can be either acoelomate, they can be pseudocoelomate, or they can be coelomate. So let us see what are the three types of coelom. Acoelomate means the space between the body wall and the digestive cavity, that is the gut cavity, is filled with a matrix, a parenchymatous matrix. And this type is seen from Porifera to Platyhelminthes. That is, they lack a coelom. A coelom is not present in them. So those animals which lack a coelom are called as acoelomate, and in them the space between the body wall and the gut cavity is filled with a parenchymatous matrix, and that is called as acoelomate, or they lack a coelom. And it is seen in Porifera to Platyhelminthes. Second type of the animals based on the nature of coelom is pseudocoelomate. That is, they are having a false coelom. In pseudocoelomate, the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. They are not lined by mesoderm. Instead, the mesoderm is scattered in the form of pouches. You can see 4 pouches over here. This is a mesoderm which is seen in the form of pouches. And such animals which is having such a false coelom are called as pseudocoelomate, and only phylum Aschelminthes have a pseudocoelom. And last is, if the animals are having a true coelom, they come under coelomate. They are called as coelomate. In the case of coelomate, the coelom arises from the mesoderm layer of the embryo. And the coelom is lined by peritoneal layer. Peritoneal layer means the tissue which is lining the abdominal cavity, and all the organs in the abdomen is called as a peritoneal layer. So coelom is lined, this cavity is lined by the peritoneal layer, and it is filled with a coelomic fluid. And a true coelom or coelomate animals belongs to phylum Annelida to Chordata. So there are three types of coelom: acoelomete, pseudocoelomete, and coelomete. Acoelomete is seen in Porifera to Platyhelminthes. Pseudocoelomete is seen in Ashhelminthes, and a true coelom or coelomete is seen in animals from Annelida to Chordata. Now, what are the functions of coelom? It accommodates all the visceral organs or internal organs, and we know it is filled, the coelom in the case of coelomate animals is filled with coelomic fluid, and this coelomic fluid, it reduces friction between the visceral organs, and it also acts as a shock absorber. So these three are the functions of the coelom. And the next level of organization is whether the animals are having metamerism. What is metamerism? It is a phenomenon in which the body or organs is externally and internally divided into repeated segments. That means the body is completely segmented, or the presence of segments is called as metamerism, or the presence of metameres. Repeated segmentation is called as metamerism. So if the body is segmented or it is having metameres, they can be shown to exhibit metamerism, or else they do not show metamerism. So metamerism is seen in annelids like earthworms. If you have seen an earthworm, you can see many segments on their body, and these segments are not only present on the external surface, they are also seen internally. So this repetitive segments is called as metamerism. So it is seen in arthropods as well as in annelids. And the last basis of classification is whether the animals are having a notochord. What is this notochord? It has been derived from the mesoderm, just like the coelom. So it is mesodermally derived, and it is a supporting rod formed on the dorsal side. We know the upper side is called as the dorsal side. So it is a supporting rod which is seen on the dorsal side and is formed during embryonic development in very few animals, in some animals. So if they are having this notochord, if the notochord persists, they are called as chordates. So such animals with notochord are called as chordates, and those without this notochord, the rod which is seen on the dorsal surface of the body, which is supporting their body, and such animals which do not have a notochord are called as non-chordates. So these are the basis of classification, that's levels of organization, germ layers, symmetry, coelom, and in addition to it, there is metamerism and presence or absence of notochord. So dear children, thus we have finished with the basis of classification of the animal kingdom, and thus the animal kingdom is divided, or it is forming 11 phyla, starting from Porifera to phylum Chordata. Thank you.